All right, you saw the other video. We know that Troy Weaver is pound to make a big swing. He talked about it, and that was in terms of who he drafts, but we also know he's not afraid to take swings. And I was reading an article by Bleacher Report that talked about 10 NBA players who could be dealt next. This was coming off the Bradley Beal trade. It is trade season in the NBA. The draft is not just the draft. It also really gets the amount of trades amped up. We have a lot of draft night trades, and I'm just wondering if the Pistons are going to be one of them. Now, they have a lot of reasons to be here, and I'm actually a little frustrated with this article because none of the best landing spots were Detroit. And I think the reason is because they're trying to put all of these good players, these star players, as the missing link for a team chasing after a championship. That's not how trades always work this time of year. Sometimes they work because there are teams that have cap space and resources needed to get the trade done. The Pistons have the cap space. If there's a player that someone is simply trying to get off their books, the Pistons can take them. This is why I think the Pistons are a good trade partner for a lot of these teams. And we have the 5th pick sitting there. We have Bojan Bogdanovic. We have some pieces that are absolutely tradable. I know nobody wants to hear it. I don't want to hear it. We have Isaiah Stewart. Like, there are tradable pieces that I think could work in a deal. So without further ado, let's look at who these players are and let's see who fits in. The first one is OG Anunoby, forward from the Toronto Raptors. This dude is a stud, 16.8 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, shoots almost 39% from 3, and has led the league in steals while finishing with a defensive estimated plus minus of 3.3. I don't think there is a player on the quote unquote trade block that works better for us, but I've talked about him at the end of 2 other videos, so I don't want to spend a ton of time with him on the beginning of this one, but I don't know if there's a player that makes more sense. And if they're ready to get moving on to the next chapter in Toronto, we have some things that we could offer. Best landing spots for him, they say Memphis, Portland, Sacramento. See, they're trying to make contenders, championship contenders. Next one's DeAndre Ayton. Can we just say thank you that we no longer have to worry about these trades? Goodbye. No, that's not going to happen. John Collins, remember that name being linked to the Pistons last year? I think I did a video. We talked about how are we going to actually it was 2 years ago. How could we make a Jeremy Grant for John Collins thing work? Would they do it straight up? No. Would they do it? What would you give up? Would you give up Jeremy Grant in a first round pick? Like, we talked about these things. Here's what it says. Moving on from John Collins should be the team's first priority, as his production no longer matches his contract. His points, rebounds, field goal percentage, and three-point percentage have all gone down each of the past 4 years, bottoming out at 13 points, at 6.5 rebounds on 51% from the field, 30% this last season. He doesn't fit in this offense. I don't think that he just forgot how to shoot. He doesn't fit. When they brought Dejounte Murray in, it was really good for their backcourt, him and Trae Young. You have the offensive firepower of Young, the defensive firepower of Murray, but it doesn't make sense for them. What would they be demanding of it? I would not be willing to part with the 5th pick for him. So you have to ask what works for the Hawks. What are they looking for? Best fits there, Dallas, Indiana, Utah. I agree. I think that in Dallas, that would just make a lot of sense, but it also wouldn't, because they would be putting him with a 1-2 guard combo that he really struggled in last year with Luka and Kyrie. So he needs to be a little more involved in the offense. Buddy Hield. This one's interesting to me. Buddy Hield's just a straight shooter. Like, he's ridiculous. He leads the NBA in he leads everybody in 3-point shots made, not named Steph Curry, for a long period of time. He is a good player. Does he make sense for the Pistons as a guy coming off the bench that will play the 2, sometimes the 3, and just a knockdown shooter? Maybe he makes sense. I want to hear in the comments below from you who you think makes the most sense. Then we have Zach LaVine. This is a pipe dream, right? Like, there's no way we could get Zach LaVine. And I want to talk about LaVine just for a second. I don't understand what's happening with Zach LaVine. He, to me, has nights where he is a top 5 player in the NBA. He's unbelievable. His ability to score is unmatched. The problem is it's not put together consistently. And the team when they brought in DeRozan started winning, but then DeRozan got all the love. Zach LaVine is a phenomenal basketball player. He always has been. He has developed so well. Watching what he's done with his shooting and things like that. But the talk is that LaVine is going to be going either to the Sixers if Harden leaves, the Heat, or the Raptors, which is interesting. I think Portland has something to say about that as well. I don't see how this goes to the Pistons. I don't see how we have enough assets because we could give away the number 5 pick this year, and we could give away like a bogey. We could give away an Isaiah Stewart. I don't think that gets it done. And we can't give a future first for it because it's tied up, in protections. We just keep being bad enough that we get the protections that they never give away. So we're going to get out of that in a year or two, hopefully sooner than later, because that means we had a good season. All right, then we go down and we have Dame time. Dame Lillard. This isn't going to Detroit. Pipe dream of all pipe dreams. If we could pull this off, it would be just a ridiculous thing, but it's in a position where we have our young stars rising with Cade and Jaden. I don't see this happening. Kyle Lowry, same. Don't need him. Don't want him. Miami doesn't want him. Nobody wants him. Same with Chris Paul. And so we just kind of end this. There is one here that is intriguing to me. It's Anthony Simons. This is interesting to me. I think the Trailblazers are trying to partner Anthony Simons. Their overall goal, and it says it right here, is partner the 3rd overall pick with him in order to get another star. I don't know if that's going to be doable. Maybe that and Simons for like DeAndre Ayton, but he actually kind of fits now in what they're doing. So I don't really know. I get wanting Ayton in Portland, but I don't know if that really helps either team that much. But Anthony Simons is interesting. He could be a good 3rd guard to go with those guys, but that's just a really guard-heavy team. And then you have Zion. And let me just say, you can think what you want about Zion. He's dominant. He has the ability to dominate the game. I don't want anything to do with this man. I want nothing to do with this man. At first, I thought he was just injury prone, but now when you get the mental makeup of it, when you hear reports last year that he was healthy but choosing not to play, I just don't think this is a good idea. This feels like Ben Simmons all over again. Maybe a change of scenery could help, but it doesn't seem like a good thing at all. So there you go. There you have it. And he's beginning. You really want to give a guy $200 million when he's choosing not to play at times? It doesn't make sense to me. You need to have a really good thing. So let me know what you think. Are any of these trades possible for our Detroit Pistons? Would you want to see it, or do you just want to see us take the draft pick that we have? Is it time to move? Is it time to forward the franchise, or is it another year of building? You let me know what you think, and we will see you tomorrow for the NBA draft. Bye. Thanks for